I'm Terry with Flower World, and we are here today in our beautiful rose garden. We have thousands of roses here, all handpicked by us to make sure that you are able to get the best rose available that's on the market today. June is the month of the rose. Luckily, I was born in June, so I think that's why I have always loved roses so much, from the time I was a little girl until the time I became a grandma. So today we're going to talk about the different types of roses. There's a lot of confusion for people. They're always asking, what's a Floribunda? What's a hybrid tea? What's a mini rose? So we're going to explain that to you so you have a better knowledge of what we have for you. So let's start with the most popular type of rose, and that is the hybrid tea. So what you see with hybrid teas is you see typically roses that are going to be 4 to 5 feet tall. They tend to, what we say, throw single buds, single flowers more. And you'll see they've got the long stems. And the hybrid tea is the rose that most floral people use, although the floral roses that you get delivered or on Mother's Day or your birthday, typically those varieties are not available. They don't translate into the garden. So, but they're still the same. So this is a hybrid tea. Perfect moment. It's been around for years. The reason we still sell it is because it's such a great rose. Some people think hybrid teas are hard to grow. I disagree. They're not. You need to pick the right variety. The next rose, which I am loving this one, this is called Celestial Night, and it is a Floribunda. So when you look at this rose, you're going to see clusters of flowers, and that is the difference, the main difference between the two, between the hybrid tea and the Floribunda. This rose, planted it last year. It is fantastic. It had no disease. It was just gorgeous. So, but again, this is a Floribunda. They tend to be 3 to 5 feet tall, but the main focus, the main difference is going to be the clusters of blooms versus the single bloom. Come over here, another one of my favorites. This is a Grandiflora, and people say, what's a Grandiflora? A Grandiflora is a cross between the hybrid tea and the Floribunda. So what you get a tall bush. They typically are taller than both the hybrid teas and the Floribundas, but they are just, some of them are just fantastic. This is Dick Clark. And growing up in the 60s, I always watched American Bandstand, and this rose is a wonderful tribute to him because it is a great rose. And again, you'll see more of, you'll get more of the, or you'll get actually a combination. You'll get a single bloom, then you'll get some more clusters. So that is a perfect example of what a Grandiflora is, a cross between the hybrid tea and the Floribunda. The next variety, or the next type I want to talk about, is 4th of July. This is a climbing rose, and when you're looking at climbing roses, you're looking for something that's sort of like a fan shape. So it's not, this is round, but it's also, you can tell, you could just put this up against the wall and let it go. The main thing I see with people in climbing roses is they prune them way too much when they're still too young, and then they stop that process of climbing. So the only thing you should do with a climbing rose besides water and fertilize it, cut the dead blooms off, cut off anything that looks bad. But for the first 2 years, super important on climbing roses to let them climb. And they are fabulous. I always, if I have a climbing rose, I have a clematis intertwined in that rose, and they grow together. They're perfect partners. So keep that in mind, because we have lots of clematis that you can mix up with our climbing roses. Next category are shrub roses. This is Knockout. Knockout has probably sold millions and millions. They are easy to grow. You've got more of a single petal on them, but they are known for their black spot resistance. They're known for, they will bloom from May until probably November, December if you feed them. Typically, shrub roses could be anywhere from 3 feet to 10 feet. So there's a lot of variation. Knockout tends to get to be about 4 to 5 feet. But I'm telling you, I never have to worry about this rose. I've got several knockouts in my own rose garden, and it's just an easy rose to grow. Then we have our sweet little ground cover rose. Happy trails. I love using these in the garden. I love having the difference of the, how many ground covers do you know that will bloom from, say again, from May until November? Not very many, but these guys will just cover your rockery or anywhere, just underplant with them. And they are typically 1 to 3 feet tall and about 3 to 5 feet wide, depending on the variety of the ground cover. But they are a wonderful, easy plant, easy type to grow in the garden. Unfortunately, in this area, we have problems with deer and rabbits. So I am constantly on patrol and using things to keep them away from my roses. There is a type of rose that they don't like, believe it or not, and that is called a Ragosa Rose, which is right here. Ragosa roses, many of them, many of the best ones that we sell have been around since the 1800s. They hate having any pesticides used on them. They don't need it. They don't get disease unless you're just, terrible to them. They can get anywhere from 3 to 6 feet tall. They are very thorny. So lots of times people will use them in areas where they don't want people or, people or other animals coming through. But the good news is the rabbits and the deer don't bother them. They're also highly fragrant. So consider those in some of the spots in your garden. They'll even tolerate a little bit less sun than some of the other roses. So Ragosa Rose has been around forever. Great for tough spots in your garden. Now here's a mini rose, and people think mini roses are the little roses that you get at the grocery store. Those are floral mini roses that really don't last that long. A true miniature rose is going to be, again, anywhere from probably 2 feet to 3 feet, and they will bloom all summer long. They are grown on their own roots, which means they're hardy, they're tough, they're disease resistant, the ones we've picked, and they are a wonderful addition. They're great in pots. A lot of people want to grow their roses in pots. We recommend, think about minis too, because they can go for months and months and be so easy and so much fun. As you can see, we have an incredible amount of beautiful roses to choose from. And June is still a really good month to plant. So please consider coming out. Give us a couple hours out here. The fragrance is amazing. We're here to help and get you and your roses in good shape. Thanks.